Welcome back to ESL Pro League Season 6, powered by Intel. I'm here joined by Yanko and Natu, and so far we've had two really good games, back and forth, North and G2 winning a map each. Bit of, I guess, flashy Counter-Strike once again. This online Counter-Strike seems to be very individual-based. We're seeing big performances, lots of aces.
And also, probably one of the worst runs of Counter-Strike we've seen in a while.
A few whiffs in that one, yeah.
I think it was Anders who tweeted that out, too.
Yes, I think safe to say, it's actually not as bad as I thought it would be. You know, compared to last year, we were also doing the beginning of last season after the player break in August, and it was way, way worse as far as I remember. So it doesn't seem as the players or the teams are as rusty as you might expect them to be. Yes, things are still there to be polished and ironed out, but you can at least see them adjusting and you know, getting used to the competitive season once again.
So in case you missed it, it was 16-7 to North on Cobblestone, and it was 16-9 to G2
Chad. Did you have your
on
dinner?
Nuke. Am I not talking loud enough?
You know.
Do you want me to enunciate?
You can speak up.
I can be a little bit louder?
Yeah.
Okay. We'll try and be as loud as I can. Well, we actually have a discussion point while we wait. We're going podcast mode here with the boys on the desk. DreamHack Masters Malmo. Now, we made a bit of a blunder earlier in the week, and we forgot to mention that was part of the Intel Grand Slam coming up. That's definitely one of the events that...
I mentioned it.
Well, we did yesterday. On day one, when I brought it up, I forgot.
It's okay. It was your first day as a host, Chad.
I was popping my cherry, popping my host cherry.
Yeah, we'll cut you some slack.
But we've actually got the groups up on the little iPad-y thing over here, so we can actually talk about, you know, our predictions, this kind of stuff. Oh, we can resize that. Can we? Oh, people just saw pictures of OJ Borg. Is that PG?
This is like the way it is.
We'll leave it like that. That's fine. We could just put. That's fine. Oh, now you're zooming in and out. Anyway,
this is like how
just read out the groups for us, Yanko. Group A. Hit us up.
Group A, Chad. We have SK Gaming coming from Brazil,
yes.
North coming from Denmark, Cloud9 coming from the North American region, and Boot DS. I think that's their full name.
Yeah, they have
coming from
DSN
the Southeast Asian region.
I think they're Indonesian.
I'm not sure if all 5 players are.
I think Singapore.
Predominantly, yes. Group B, we have the
Astralis.
Favorite Danish team, Astralis. We have the favorite Polish team, Virtus.pro. We have the favorite Ukrainian team, Navi, and the favorite Australian team, Renegades.
The only Australian team.
Only Australian team. Group C, Gambit, FaZe, NIP, Mousesports, and last but not least, Group D, second place at the major Immortals, G2, Envious, and Fnatic.
Do you see Cloud9 replace Optic? Because Optic changed their roster completely. That's an interesting little
You
point.
need to watch out about those. They also lost their spot in E-League Premier.
Well, let's go from A to D, and let's have a fun little game of Predict Your Top 2. It is going to be a GSL format, and that's one of my more fun formats. I don't like Swiss. Put the Swiss in the bin. I like Swiss cheese, but not the format.
I like best of ones.
You like best of ones?
I don't like best of ones.
I prefer best of
don't care about the format as long as it's best of
I think this format discussion is kind of ridiculous because always it's a hype train game. As people are getting hyped up on one format, we go on about it for a little while, everyone gets bored of it, then we'll find something else, and it just keeps on going and going and going.
I'm with you there. So let's go with Group A. I think this one should maybe be more clear-cut. I guess the Cloud9 roster, what can you really expect there? Yanko, who you got coming out your top 2 from Group A?
I have SK Gaming.
Yes.
Now, I'm not sure about the second team.
Yeah.
You know, I think, like, you know, put best of ones into account in the group stages, right? I'm not sure we have the matchups yet. I think we actually do who's facing who. I don't know if you can bring that up in the meanwhile,
we have the matchups yet.
But yeah, I can see a world in which Cloud9 can beat North in a best of one or something along those lines and still qualify for the playoffs over them. So I don't think it's as clear cut, seeing as how even in these online games so far, North, some mistakes there definitely need to be ironed out. On the other side of things, Cloud9 themselves changed a few players, brought in Tarek and Rush.
Yes.
Automatic is on vacation at the moment, so they can't even practice with their full 5. They're using a stand-in for North American Pro League. That's right. So I think it's going to be a bit random. I would probably give a 65-35 advantage to North.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, with the lack of preparation that Cloud9 is going to come in with, you kind of have to think North is going to be there making top 2. But I would definitely not count Cloud9 out, though, because, you know, adding Tarek and Rush, I think it's a very exciting lineup, in my opinion.
Yeah.
There's a lot of firepower. The question really is, how do they mold as a team? How do they start playing? What kind of approach do they take? Because if they are capable of utilizing that skill as a unit, you know, they can be a scary team to play playing against, and you have the randomness factor in a lot of the individuals. If they can play off each other well in those situations, you know, a team like North really needs to be ready with their more regime style kind of a play, because if you're not, then they will come like a wrecking ball.
I was going to discuss this after we'd done all the groups, but I think this is applicable here in this situation, especially with what we're talking about between Cloud9 and North, is the coaching rule changes for the DreamHack Masters event. And that means that the coaches can speak within the freeze time within the first 20 seconds. They can also speak at halftime for 30 seconds before the match, you know, all that kind of stuff.
I feel like that's definitely going to help a team like Cloud9
100%.
because of the lack of preparation. Valence will be able to come in the beginning of the round. I think that's the kind of change I want to see in the long run to be applied to everything, because that gives the coach just a bigger role. He can be able to help the team in a lot of situations. We've heard in the past how, you know, with no names mentioned, that coaches have felt really frustrated in situations where they've seen what's going on, but they haven't had any timeouts anymore left to be able to make any calls.
Yeah, I'm very much interested to see how G2 will look like with this change, because you feel like sometimes perhaps, you know, Smith's working with NKJ, that sometimes they maybe want to move to a more tactical play style, but because Shox is the in-game leader and he has always been, you know, more feeling based and let's like default, let's feel out what they're doing, let's play individually. You know, if they have enough authority to say during freeze time, or Smiths rather, to say during freeze time, hey, let's just go for this set piece that we have, it's going to counter completely what they're doing. That could show us maybe a new face of G2 that could be extremely potent. I think more than anything else, actually, it's going to help teams who have less experienced in-game leaders, or teams who struggle to have an in-game leader at all, the likes of Renegades, for example. Right? It's going to make it much easier for them if Kassad can actually tell them, okay, in this round, I want you to do this. And then they only need to think about and adjust like mid-round and talk about the rotations.
The mid-round call is actually one of the hardest things, but I think you can kind of have like a flow chart, right, with mid-round calling to you make the best decisions from certain scenarios. So if we lose a player here or we get a pick here and you've done your prep on the team and you know how they rotate, you know how they like to do things, then you can almost, as a coach, prep your team well enough, or your in-game leader, so it's almost second nature that this is how we're going to react.
Yeah, as long as I've always been a fan of building protocols in the sense of when certain things happen, then we have these 3 or 4 different kind of exit scenarios that we can apply, so that everyone is going to have them in the back of their heads in that situation.
Was this from you, or during your time coaching NIP? It was just one of the things that they did was whenever they lost the first pick on Dust 2, I think it was like 90% of the time it would always do a mid-to-B split, or a mid-to-B with a lot of numbers out middle of those remaining 4. That was something which I noticed from watching a lot of NIP demos back in the day.
That's what they used to do. I think that's the reason why Fnatic managed to beat them on Dust 2. Which tournament was that?
Like 2014.
I think it was Katowice 2015, perhaps, but you were still playing at the time. Or I'm not really sure, but I know that I think that was when Devilwalk was coaching, and Devilwalk also spotted that tendency with the NIP, and then he, you know, obviously translated that to his players in Fnatic, and that's something they exploited. That Dust 2 game ended 16-14 in favor of Fnatic, so that's why, you know, in such a close game, every single thing matters. So I think also the coaching, you know, when you talk about mid-round calls, I think actually this will help coaches help their players with that, even because, you know, 20 seconds of freeze time, you can say, hey guys, I want you to do this, you know, a set piece that we have, but remember, you know, we're doing it straight away. If we lose a player, then you can rotate back to B, or watch out for a quick flank from B. So he has enough time to give them a couple of pointers and a couple of things they need to watch out for, even once the call is made.
You may see it as well stimulate more CT aggression, because if the coach is there going, hey guys, we need to actually be more assertive on our CT side, you know, teams can very easily just go, oh, we just missed our shots, let's just hold. But the coach might see, hey, he did miss his shot, but we need this change. So that's going to be something which is definitely going to be a positive thing for that event and to look out for. If we bring back the discussion to group predictions, because we all love predictions, let's leave B. We'll come back to B at the end and we'll segue that one in nicely with our next matchup. But let's go to C. Gambit, FaZe, NIP, and Mouse. This group feels messy.
Yeah, I feel like with Gambit, it's another example of, okay, Gambit, we don't see them ever except for a couple of LAN tournaments. Yeah. They're the reigning major champions. Of course, losing their in-game leader, which was a huge part of their team, the main reason why they managed to improve so much over the last year. Also their coach, bringing in Fitch, another Kazakhstani player. So it's a question of now Adren in the in-game leader role. How will he be able to fill Zeus's boots? Not only that, he was the star player of the team. Will that impact his individual performance? Can the rest of the players compensate for that?
Yeah, no, that's a hard one to predict, in my opinion. So many things have changed in 3 of the four teams, right, in the recent time.
Actually, all of them.
All four. Yeah, true. Yeah, all 4 teams. Yeah, exactly.
June.
Yeah. No, it's not been that long ago, right? So yeah, that one's super hard to predict, in my opinion. You kind of want to see, or you expect to see FaZe going through. You know, it's just that lineup. It's hard to really bet against, is it? But then between the other 3 teams, super hard to say. Gambit, I think that it's a massive loss to lose your in-game leader, and then, like you said, having Adren being adjusting to be now an in-game leader while he's been the star fragger of this team.
It sucks to see.
So that's a really, really tricky one. I'm not really sure what to pick apart from FaZe.
This is a group where anything can happen. I don't think any of these teams is set to make it out of the group stages. FaZe has the best chance probably if they win 2 best-of-1s, right? Because you wonder how much depth will they have with the recent addition of 2 new players to have a deep map pool. On the other side of things, you have NIP playing on home turf. They won DreamHack Masters Malmo last time around, and they didn't play the major, obviously, so had more time to practice.
And in the best-of-1s, other than maybe against Gambit, they'll probably get the map they want, right? They're going to. It's obviously when you're vetoing down to 1 map, you practice 3. And if they get Cache against a team like FaZe,
they're not getting Cache, are they?
Well, maybe versus FaZe, maybe.
Nah, I don't think
Why would you go down another road?
Yeah, I would.
Just no one will give them. No one will give them Cache, I believe, at this tournament at least.
No point.
They can play Inferno quite well as well.
And last but not least, you have Mousesports, who has been again steadily improving throughout 2016. Upgraded their rosters with the addition of Stico and Sunny. So another very dangerous team in the group that you shouldn't take lightly. The only thing that goes maybe towards some of the other teams' way is the fact that they are still, I don't want to say struggling on LAN. They are, when they come against a very strong team in a best-of-3, that's where maybe their lack of experience shows a little bit. So.
But I think they might be one of the teams that will benefit from the fact that the coach can actively say things in the first time. Yeah,
for sure.
LBD can definitely help Chris Shea with the calling.
Then we got Group D.
Group D.
My favorite letter.
Immortals, G2, Envious, and Fnatic. Another very up-in-the-air group.
All right, what happened with Immortals? Because there was all this speculation and stuff that Lucas, Henny, and KNG, they weren't happy. They wanted to leave. They wanted to say, see you later, Bolts and Steel, and go to a different organization with their boy FNX and make some kind of team.
Elige, presumably, supposedly,
which is just absolutely insane.
Speaks Portuguese.
And then that never happened. And now I believe they're playing Pro League later this evening or early hours in the morning for us.
I mean, knowing how mellow guys they are, they'll probably have fixed their issues now.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
And move forward, right?
100%.
A lot of emotion in that team.
Yeah, so that's one to definitely look out for. And then G2, Envious, and Fnatic. We like what we've seen from Fnatic so far, but Envious, out of this whole group, for me anyway, Envious just seems like a team who just grinds. It's like they're never going to be super impressive, no disrespect. They just get results, and it's just like, okay, how is this team winning games?
Yeah, for me, Envious is a team that even early on after the shuffle with them and G2 seemed like they, that Happy really has tried to change the way he approaches the game as a caller, right? The way he calls, he's tried to adjust and play the modern type of Counter-Strike that we see with different changes of pace and so forth. Even try to change his lurking to be more aggressive and being able to help out the team more. The problem was for them, they would be very good fundamentally in terms of strategy and a game plan, but they would make silly individual mistakes and lose crucial rounds, and then the game would fall apart for them. And we saw how good they can look when things actually click. Pro League finals, maybe one of the tournaments, unfortunately falling flat at the major qualifier, not being able to qualify for the actual major. Now managing to qualify for New York. So you can see like the two faces of Envious, and they have been together for a while now, and they have achieved a good dose of consistency, I'd say. So for me, they're probably one of the teams that are favored to go through this group.
I'm just excited to watch more Fnatic, especially online now, having seen them yesterday, trying to build an actual system, some kind of regime in the way they play. It's not going to be just running around like headless chickens anymore, but instead, there's a thought process behind the things they do. Very exciting to see that kind of side from those individuals that were known for very different styles.
I mean, the problem is like G2 is the obvious favorite in this group, but they can be so inconsistent at times, especially in group stage play, especially in a best of one. God forbid they play the first game of the day or something like that.
Early game.
Yeah,
it's an early game.
An early game. You know, you never know
or
what
late
can.
game.
Yeah, you never know what can happen with those guys. Unfortunately, right? So even in a best-of-1 scenario, you can see them maybe getting upset by Fnatic, for example, something along those lines. Another very much open group. You are scared for Immortals because of the disarray you were mentioning, but we've seen examples before where a team who is in shambles, just about to disband, they play without any pressure, and they make a couple of upsets.
Well, speaking of disarray, Rush, everyone's favorite observer, he's got a pro tip for us, so we can probably learn something here, boys.
Hey, future pros.
Hey, future pros. We are on Dust 2 today. What? They took it out of the map pool? Let's do it anyway. This is an Xbox smoke designed to help your team rush short without dying to mid. To execute this, line yourself up along this shadow. Then aim at the tip of this particular spike. Launch the smoke into the skies and you'll be gifted with a nice Xbox smoke. You can now take short control in a much safer manner.
Rolling back the years there is Rush. I did say disarray. Dust 2 doesn't really help me. I haven't played any Counter-Strike in a while, but I'm definitely not playing that map.
Well, the last time you played Counter-Strike, I mean, not actively as a player, like Dust 2 was in the pool, or no?
As a player?
No,
it wasn't in.
Wasn't?
I don't think so. We're playing Nuke.
You haven't played
in
Dust
a year.
2 in a very long time.
Yeah. I don't even get to play Counter-Strike anymore. Anyway, the next matchup, a team that used to be good on Dust 2, Astralis, aka TSM, going up against Heroic in the Danish Derby, however you pronounce it, I don't really care. We live in a very versatile world with the English language. And last time we saw Astralis...
Australians, yes.
Yeah, I'm happy for that.
Aren't we all? Last time we saw Astralis go down 2-0 to G2 on Overpass and Inferno, and it was a 16-9, 16-6 losses, and it was, I guess, an Astralis that looked a little bit lost.
I think it was more so things clicking a lot for G2. They played a very good game, got good reads, won all 4 pistol rounds, had control of the economy, right? All the win conditions were fulfilled for G2. You could see Astralis still, tactically being very sound, trying to make things happen on the map. I think maybe a little bit of ring rust individually, for Zipnex perhaps in that Overpass game, a lot of action coming his way. We could see like how this was the one round where he actually, did a great job.
Got 8 kills, I think.
But besides that, didn't really see a whole lot from him.
Yeah, I wouldn't draw too long conclusions with what happened yesterday in the game. I agree, like a couple rounds going their way, and we would have been looking at them winning those both maps easily. So, this is obviously, going to be a domestic battle here coming up, and that's always a different breed altogether. Playing against what is effectively, how could I put it? The Danish scene it's so like the wealth of skill right now that they have in the scene is just ridiculous, right? So playing against homeboys in Heroic is definitely going to be something interesting.
Well, they will be playing Overpass first, so they have a chance to redeem themselves from last night. We saw Dupree getting that kill on Apex while he's jumping towards B. I know Henry harps on it every time. I would be looking at different ways to taking control of Sewer as opposed to jumping there, because he just has like a sixth sense about that frag and makes it, I would say, a decent percentage of the time. I'm not going to put figures on it. We don't want to put actual numbers on it. Maybe 100% of the time.
Yeah, go full Moses. Why not?
Yeah. I'm going to shave my head soon. Get a nice eagle tattoo on my back.
Don't get rid of that beautiful hair.
Yeah. We need someone with hair.
Yeah, well, we all have hair. We're all doing well.
So
for now,
beautiful
anyway.
hair. For now.
Yeah.
Beautiful hair.
A couple more years in this line of work and it's going to all be gone, Chad.
I don't have any greys yet either.
Soon.
Speaking of people who probably have greys, Heroic. They're all young. That transition doesn't work.
Well, Marty, though.
Marty's reaching us, trying to grab something. Snappy feels a little lost youth. But while we're going through the players,
what about S-Tag?
S-Tag, he was playing for Tricked. I believe they were playing in the Mountain Dew League last time round, but he's finally
Tell us more, Chad.
He's got another upgrade. Well, mate, if you want to play in the Mountain Dew League, I think it's ESEA.something/MDL. It's probably .net if it's ESEA. Yeah, but let's talk about these guys and what they've done in recent times. We saw them actually knock down Virtus Pro with roll all the way back to Katowice, right? And they actually didn't have a positive frag ratio in that game, or for the whole group stages, I think it was. And they're just a team who, if we go even further back, out of last year's player break, were grinding the entire time. And they came through and they actually showed that they can be a decent squad, the third best Danish team, and are just on a slow, like, upwards trajectory, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, they rivaled Astralis, you know, in the top two, didn't they? Especially, I remember the Star Ladder. Pretty much this time of the year last year, wasn't it? And they beat them there. So, yeah, I mean, definitely this has always been an interesting lineup in the sense that there's a lot of these bubbling under type of guys that, and then unfortunately for Heroic, get picked up by the bigger names in the end. But, yeah, definitely an interesting lineup. Good to watch these guys play.
Just there to remind you how ridiculous is the amount of talent that the Danish scene has. I mean, even in this team, you had in the last couple of months, or in this year, Yugi and Nico step up as the new rising stars of the team alongside Valde. Valde now moving to North, so they're going to have, you know, bigger shoes to fill. You have the veterans in Snappy and Modi. Modi, a very interesting player, because in 1.6 he was actually the aim star of you know, the Swedish scene, and he had a sort of an attitude problem, right?
That's sort of an attitude problem.
Well, you know, not going to throw him under the bus here, but it seems like, I mean, you have to give him props for him. You know, he's matured a lot. He's now the mellow guy in the team, you know, who's calming things down. The more experienced player steps up on land more often than not, and you have Snappy, another veteran of the scene, coming from 1.6, taking up the in-game leader role, and last but not least, Astag, who we mentioned, coming in from Trix. So this is a team that's very, you know, deceptively weak, I would say. They have a lot of talent. They have good players to fill the roles that they need. It's just, you know, how much time do they need to improve enough to become a legitimate threat to some of these tier 1 and tier 2 teams?
I don't want to, you know, count them out of this game before it happens, because we have seen them have these upset victories. And on a map like Overpass, if they get a good start, if Yugi's feeling it with the AWP, that kid can be super flashy. He can really feel the heart of the cards. That's it.
I liked it.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I just think that this kind of squad, though, they need to just be happy with being a top 15 team, I think. I don't think you're ever going to see them consistently break into a top 10 kind of position.
I mean, the issue is really, like I said, you know, that they keep losing players, and then once they've grinded for that solid 6 months, and you'd expect them to have a good system going, they'll lose a member. They'll have to start all over again, right? So you're never going to be able to develop to past a certain point unless you get the benefit of being able to be together for a long time.
You have to remember, this is the team that initially had Config and Magisk as well, and they, you know, slow initially, first Config, then Magisk move out. Actually, Valde joined this roster to replace Magisk. So imagine if this team had Magisk, Config, and Valde in it, and then you have, for example, Yugi, you know, Modi and Nico, or Yugi and Snappy there, right? You have the in-game leader, you have everything. That could be a legitimately dangerous team. The problem is, because they are, you know, lower in the food chain, their best players get picked up by some of the, you know, more financially strong organizations, or more lucrative teams in terms of also talent, right? If you're the best player, the sole best player on the team, and you have a team that you can join that has more star players, you feel like with them you could achieve more as a team, maybe win some titles. So it's not all obviously about the money. It's more so about the competition, having the chance to compete for the #1 spot.
Well, money makes the world go round, Yanko.
True. Makes us definitely go around the world.
It makes me smile as well.
Money fans.
With those $18 burritos. 18-pound burritos. 18-pound burritos.
Good thing pound has fallen.
So I just have something that I quickly want to bring up here with the, I guess, the standings so far, because the other night, when they were playing against Godsend, this is Heroic, they actually lost a game in overtime. And if people aren't aware, there has been a rule change this season around to do with overtime victories and losses. If you make it to overtime, you're guaranteed a point, win or loss. If you win in overtime, you only get 2 points. If you lose in overtime, you get 1 point. And if you win the game in regulation, which is normal, you'd get 3 points. So, you know, I think it helps a little bit, because it means that teams should try and close out the game in regulation.
And it also gives a good variety with how the points are spread. Therefore, I think we won't have those kind of you know, 5-way ties we've had at some point in one of the seasons down the line. So hopefully we will have teams actually separated by points by the end of the season.
It's a very interesting change. I'm not sure. I think another esport does it in a way where it's overtime. If you lose in overtime, you get 1 point, but if you win in overtime, you still get 3. Mm-hmm. So maybe that's, you know, a way of, you know, you won if it's overtime or not. So maybe it's a way of, you know, you're rewarding the losing team for it being a very close game, but the team that won maybe should still get the full 3 points. But I think in any case it's a refreshing change compared to what we had before, and what you said is going to help with the tiebreakers, which everyone hates to see.
Yeah, we don't want that kind of messy situation if we can avoid it. Nobody wants that mess on their face. But going head-to-head in this one, obviously all of us would be leaning towards Astralis being the favourites, right? Even though we saw them have a bit of a sloppy start, Heroic have had a bit more of a grind. They've played a couple more matches. They've already played 4 games, 3 wins and 1 loss, so that's something definitely positive to look at for them. But I feel it's easier to say what do Heroic need to do for win conditions. I know it doesn't. Yugi has to play well, or this guy has to do this, and I feel that let's go a little bit deeper than that if we can. Let's try and look into what needs to go wrong for Astralis at the same time as going right for Heroic.
Yeah, as always, as an underdog team, you need to take some risks, right? If you just play a standard game, the chances are the favorite is simply going to outplay or be better than you first individually. They have more firepower, and then also strategically they're going to be able to be one step ahead. So for Heroic, you need to try and find your chances, right? Try and take some risks, maybe surprise Astralis. They're a very well-known team. You know perhaps what their weak spots are, and try to play not a brand of Counter-Strike that's great all around, but the brand of Counter-Strike that's great against Heroic. We saw it from FaZe, for example, in that rivalry we had in the first half of the year. Not all the things they did was fundamentally sound, but against Astralis it was very good because it countered the way they were playing the game.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like on top of that, for Heroic, they need to be on top or on the right side of certain coin flip situations in the game. They're effectively always going to happen, a few of them within a game.
Yep.
For example, just how timing works in a certain situation. In a crucial 2-on-2, for example, that could then crush the economy for either side in the match. So, yeah, they definitely need to have the stars point their way.
We did see them lose, Astralis lose some clutches as well last night against the likes of G2, which means probably different skill for skill between a G2 and a Heroic kind of thing, but there is hope there for them to convert those situations if someone like Nico, someone like Yugi is feeling it and is playing some nice flashy Counter-Strike for us all to witness. Maybe just a couple more ending points if you guys want to help me flounder around for a little bit like a fish. Sure. You got anything for me? I assume we're getting close because I can see all the players are in the server.
Maybe you can give me some broad type of question, Chad.
Wait, well, I've just been told last points, so if you just want to say who's going to win and by what scoreline, because predictions are fun.
Astralis 16-9.
16-7 Astralis.
Fantastic. Well, going into this one, it's time for the main event, the Derby. We've got a superhero of UK Counter-Strike standing by. Henry, let's compare him to Batman, and Robin can be Harry. Take it away, lads.
Well, I've been called the Caped Crusader before, Harry. How's it going? We're here for the second game of the evening. It's going to be Heroic versus Astralis. We've got derbies. We're not sure we're going with. I've always called it a derby. I think that's the correct word. But who have you got your money on for this one?
I'm going to have to go the way of... I'm going to say Heroic because I like an underdog story.
Hello. You do, don't you? You always seem to go against the grain. And I guess when it does happen, you can go, oh, yeah, I knew it. That's the one. Right? I did tell you, but I guess it's Pro League and anything does and will happen.
Best thing about going for the underdog as well is if they lose, I can just, plead the ignorance on it and say, oh, I just picked them because, I like an underdog story.
Yeah, you win either way. Yeah. Well, let's see if Astralis can win. They're certainly the favourites here. There's no doubt about that. One of the world's best teams. They're definitely the best of Denmark. They'll be starting on the T side on their best map, no less. So certainly the favourites on this one. And we'll see what kind of buy they have. 4 sets of armour, ladies and gentlemen. And Glaive with the utility. 1 smoke, 2 flashbangs. Looks like a fast A approach. Only favour towards that B-bomb site. Going towards long, it seems. We're going to see 4 players in playground trying to maybe assert their dominance on this particular area. Glaive watching towards middle. No upgraded pistols on the T side. 1 armour for Estag. 1 diffuse kit, I should say, not armour. And Snappy goes towards long. He's trying to get that first pick, and he's in a little bit of a dangerous situation here. Down he goes, boosted up his device, and now Juggy to try and get the frags in return.
Oh, Estag, he's tapping away. He might not have armor, but he's got the aim, and that's going to carry him forward. Zipex over at long, spots Estag, gets a bit overzealous there on the peak, and Yugi left to try and pick up the pieces within the site. Modi on the flank, going to try and wish these guys a swift good night, tapping away, doing the damage, has to fade away. But he's denied the bomb plant for now, and that could be huge as it's given time for the rest of Heroic to rotate on in. Nico waiting on Optimus, taps away. Down goes Device, and now it's Zipex 1v3. He has the bomb. But players wrapping around from long. He's going to quickly find himself up against it. Emerges from the cubby. He should go down here, takes the first, but then the trade comes in from Modi. And that'll be Heroic to find that CT side pistol.
An interesting approach from Astralis, I have to say. Rushing towards long, getting that first pick as well. But Estag, the new boy, manages to get a couple of quick brags there with the USP. Shuts down, I was about to say the Danes, they're both Danish, but shuts down Astralis. And no bomb going down there either. Here's the replay of those USP kills. Very quick towards the bathrooms area. Drops the smoke, buys some time. And it will be Astralis forcing into this one across the board as well. Desert Eagles, Tech 9s, PT50, a couple of smokes, and holding towards the connector for now is Zipex. Trying to find some damage through the smoke and monster tunnel. Can't get anything just yet. It's round number 2, and Astralis known to be very deadly with the Desert Eagles Dupree, especially in this area, as the boys on the desk touched on. Not many people should be boosting up in that area, or even jumping, because he'll blow your head off every single time. I think they said 100% of the time, which I think is accurate.
Yeah, 100%.
It's always
I'm going to 100%, you're 100%.
Yeah.
Over here at long, Device looking to try and be the dig man for Astralis. It's something he's incredibly good at. Along with Dupree, I'd say they're my favorite two with the Deagles. They're going to be positioned here at long. Nico doesn't want to get overzealous. I mean, we saw in the previous, this was how they actually lost S-Tag, so he's got to be careful. Ooh, don't test it. Don't test the waters. These Deags are going to try and rain death from afar. 2 players in a long, 3 down by toilets. Smoke goes out along with that Molotov to try and keep the boys over at long away that little bit longer. But now, Astralis throwing out these smokes and flashes of their own. Yugi over here on truck, going to be waiting, has some support to come in. Damage done already. Zipex and Device, they find the first 2. Molly has to step up here. He's able to do damage, but that will be it. The Deags, the pistols, they are too much. Snappy, he's going to fall to Zipex, and it's all on S-Tag, 1v5.
Good luck, my friend. See what he can do here, but those Deagles, we said they'd be deadly, and it's Zipex to deliver the goods as he makes his way on the A site. A very basic execution there, 2 smokes to work with. Didn't really need the flashbangs going in together, and the CTs just weren't expecting it. They might have had to be a little bit more aggressive there, the rifles as well, get some damage in, maybe delay the push. The fact that Astralis got so close to the site and can explode together, bit of a blunder from the CT side. 5 players remain for Astralis. They're right back in the driving seat on their best map as well. So, Estag trying to save his FAMAS. Looks like he probably will. To the entrance here of the B bomb site. He'll give his position away by flashing there, but it does actually land perfectly in Kiabi's face. So Estag there, staying alive with the FAMAS. The CT's almost certainly going to force by here with the safe FAMAS. Here he comes, 5-7 purchase for Stappy. I guess if you look at it, it's been nerfed in some ways and buffed in others. So now it's very deadly, close range, spamming, standing still, and it's also very good at tapping as well, so trying to increase the skill in certain scenarios. It's not so much a run and gun weapon now. It doesn't really work in that regard, so trying to kind of balance the pistols, I guess, if you will. But here we go, the boost. We did say try and avoid this one, but Dupree this time doesn't pre-fire it for once. He doesn't go for that shot, and this could be a chance for Heroic to get back into this game, but the replay comes in for Kiabi, and it will be Glaive to push up towards shore, but smoked out for now.
Modi awaits with that P250, but Astralis, they don't care. They're going to start to rotate players away. Glaive, he's the only man left. Waiting down by short while the rest of the gang begin their rotation. Out through mid. Device can be peeking long. Doesn't have his trusty AWP that he's carried that FAMAS forward from the previous S-Tag. The lone rifle player for Heroic down here on B. Him and Modi looking like they might employ the boost here. They nearly clutch Glaive off guard. They might have heard him fall down. Oh, so close from S-Tag. They nearly spot it. Glaive actually hears the boost come in as well. Astralis trying to take a map control out towards mid. They know that's clear. They've also got control of connector. Zipex kickstarts this round as he does drop out Modi. S-Tag going to fall back into the relative safety of the B-bomb site. Here, long. Nico going to peek out to Device, and then that should give way to this eventual push. Zipex rotates out of connector with the bomb in tow. Yugi's alone inside the A-bomb site, trying desperately to survive, but that is too much to ask. S-Tag 1v4 once again. The odds stacked against him. The B-bomb site overrun with evil Danes as opposed to him, who represents the good side.
Does he?
Well, to me, with my prediction, yes. But
okay.
Device finishes him off. That's Astralis to go 2-1 up. as they managed to convert that round. And now Heroic, they've got no money.
And yeah, they're up against Astralis here on the T side of Overpass, one of the most deadly teams in the world on the T side of Overpass. They won the pistol, then gave away the second round. That third round, forced by, didn't really work out for them whatsoever. It's going to be Heroic now on the full eco. They've got one flashbang. Looks like they're rushing towards long as a 5-man unit. Flash over the corner potentially and try and get the pick. You can see on the minimap right now, it looks like that Astralis won't be going anywhere near them. It's Device holding towards the fountain, looking for any frags he can get with the FAMAS. He probably gets, I would say 2 and then he dies. Let's see if that works out as a prediction for you, Harry. Oh, they're not even pushing. Come on, you got the flashbang. Let's go. I'm just hoping Device walks into their crosshairs. Yeah, I think they have to go at this point. Waited a little bit too long. The flash should be going around the corner any second. As Staggy going to throw it. He doesn't want him. Not yet.
They're very stingy. Not wanting to get rid of that one flash. It's
the B-side's been overrun, so Device, 2 frags and dead. Ready?
Here we go then. Let's see. Henry G, the encyclopedia of CS. Device.
Come on.
Doesn't want a full parade. We're going to be holding the angle. Pop flash completely misses, and Device keeps missing these openers. Glaive, he's going to fall straight away. Device goes in for it, takes the first. We only need one more, and there we go. He takes 2.
Didn't die, though.
Doesn't go down.
It doesn't. It all falls apart. Well, decent attempt for It's about to go a couple of frags there. It's actually not too bad at all. All in with a stack towards long. Waited quite a while there, but they got 2 frags with nothing invested into the round. That's fine. The problem they have is now it's buy round for Heroic, sure, but as you can see, Harry, no defuse kits, only 1 incendiary, and mainly unarmored heads as well, which means Zipex UMP becomes very deadly indeed. 4 by, of course, are Astralis. They're known to be the execution kings on this map, and they should have quite an easy run here, unless someone goes absolutely massive for the Heroic side. They need to be a little bit more aggressive, I would say. Try and get that first pick, flash over, maybe take control of short, something like that. If you get bled dry here with no utility, it's difficult to imagine a world where they win this round if the bomb gets planted, especially left in a clutch situation without a single kit. Needs something working in their favour. Here comes the execution. Molotovs all over the place. But it's a good lineup. I like that from Snappy, doing a ton of damage there as well.
Starts to fall back. Push comes through. He's dropped the bomb. Turns his attention into long. And they have overrun the site. He's going to be holding it off. Snappy is the hero. Gets himself 3. Keeps this even. 2 on 2. Nico's already rotated in. Drops out Device. And now we're going to see Zipex in the 1v2. He's on the site. Has the bomb in hand. Could even try rotating off. And Heroic, they're aware of this. I mean, they haven't entirely committed into holding this.
Yeah, they're up against Zipex as well, who, as we all know, the master of clutch situations. He's got a ton of time as well. The mind games begin. He drops his smoke on B. He will be using it as well to try and get that bomb down as quickly as he can. See if there's a reaction coming through, but it goes down. It's planted. No kits, remember. If he gets 1 kill, brings it down to a 1v1, it's pretty much done. I would say he pretty much wins the round at that point. But here we go. Idea for Heroic here, they can play around with the bomb for a little bit, but that smoke certainly helps. Fake defuse, but now they're trying to bait him in with the smoke going down. They're not defusing just yet. Now they are.
Yeah, he's going to be sticking it. Zipex isn't wise to the fact. I think the smoke going down actually covered the sound of it. Goes for the spray. Nico hits the deck. Zipex, he might have just won this out on that basis alone. Fades away from short. Yugi goes hunting, but he's going to be missing his mark. And Zipex around the corner. This round is all said and done. Astralis, he goes back in to finish it. And as you said, Zipex is the king of these clutch scenarios.
Did you see how confident he was with his spray there? He knows when he planted the bomb. A lot of players forget when they do that. When in those kind of high-pressure situations, you put that bomb down and you see them go, oh, where did I plant it? Where exactly did I go? But he's just so aware as to where he planted the bomb, sprays it down, and like I said, if he gets that 1 kill, it's done. It's over. They had the kind of body block there. He had to be taking the bullets for his team. They didn't know he was towards shore, though. He completely outplayed them there. Lovely stuff. Good attempt there from Snappy to hold them at bay, but 4-1, Astralis sinking their teeth into this first half. Has to be another eco here for Heroic. They saved... Oh, they didn't save a weapon in the previous round. It's going to be a little bit of a partial buy from Snappy. He's got a bit more money in his team after getting 3 kills, of course. He gets the UMP out, some body armor. Yugi down to 10 HP. The Eagles are very strong on the Heroic side as well, but for now, there's one and a couple. So, Heroic have a chance to win this round, but here comes the backstab from Kiabi. The spray controls there, and he manages to get 2 frags, but still uncomfortable here.
The positioning of S-Tag could have made all the difference just then. He's allowed to retreat back into the site. They know he was playing long. Smoke comes in. They flash over, fake out the plant. S-Tag gets focused into the site. The aim punch plays into that as he hits the deck, and Yugi, 10 HP. Henry, do you believe?
No.
No. There you go.
Well, it's nice to feel like he could do it in some ways, but with no care and this amount of money, this man HP, sorry, and 1 kill so far. It's not like he's playing lights out Counter-Strike at this point. 5-1 for Astralis, so we do get to maximum loss bonus for the CT's next round. Hopefully we do see the AWP come out for Yugi. It's going to be the AWP up at the side. We'll see whether he can cause any damage going forward. I actually think it's a very decent AWP. As we'll have the opportunity for the double AWP setup as well. Heroic definitely have that available to them if required. And here we go. Yugi trying to survive here. Looks like he probably will. Kiabi was tantalizingly close to taking him down, but didn't go around the corner. So have a look at the buy coming through. Yugi saving the AK certainly helps. Like I said, they want to go for that double AWP setup. Certainly an option. There's one. Or they bring out the second. Thinking about it. Not going to be happening. Okay then, so single AWP here, but Yugi known to be a very aggressive AWPer. Good with the flick shots. Up close and personal as well. We'll see if we can get any of that rolling here, but he's up against Device. And we know how deadly he is. It's going to be Yugi towards the connector for now. Good shot. There it is. Wants to take that duel, and he hits the shot perfectly. Falling back now.
Yeah, just him being there. I mean, Astralis, they tried to make their way out through party to catch him on the rotation back out. Device is the one holding it. But it doesn't lead to much. In the meantime, they've taken aggression up through long. Nico takes the peek, finds the first. That's bomb dropped out in the open. And this round, Yugi in with the flick. I was going to say, it could get rescued based on the play from Kiabi, but as he hits the deck, Astralis, they're very much in the backseat on this one. Device going to try and peek over, has the AWP in hand. 2 players there going to be locking it down, I think, employing the boost over the top of SWAT Van. Device holding the angle. Yugi spots him, misses that shot. Now Device gets the information. Both of them missing for days. The Danish AWPer's falling short. And it's Zipex sneaking up through mid that looks to try put the knife into the back of the enemy here. Device has got the bomb. They've only got 40 seconds left to play with. That's plenty. Try and rotate. Molotov comes in for Modi. Zipex starts to push on in. Device now down long. 3 players for Heroic within the site with 2 left down on B. Zipex finds the first. That's going to get their attention. It allows Device to peek out from long. Finds Yugi. Man advantage still up for Heroic, but only Nico left within the site. And this is where things get a little bit tricky as the bomb planter does come in.
Yeah, this could all fall apart now. The bomb's in a decent position. Device with the AWP. Snappy has to step up here. Coming in silently, but look at Zipex, so aware this could be happening. He's watching the backstabs right now, and he probably does take down Snappy to the smoke. It saves him for now. He does sneak past, and the clutch begins. It comes down to this kill right here, right now. This was a 5-on-2, Harry. It's all falling apart. 1 person remaining for the Heroic side. That's Nico. He's got the kit, but nothing to work with here. Surely he can't win this round.
He's going to take the aggression. Time is low. He has to try and pick up Device now, with Device just playing it passive. Sitting back. The time already too far gone. Device. Oh! Okay, Device. There you go. Keeps us smiling and happy. As not only do they manage to come back from a 2v5, but they don't let anyone save. Device lands this nice little number here. That's the second time we've seen him just connect the shot in through the wall.
That's such a crushing round for Heroic. It's a 5-on-2. It shouldn't be happening. They shouldn't be getting the bomb down there, and it all falls apart. That could be game, set, and match. Heroic, they had to win that one. They've had 1 round on the board so far, and that was the pistol. A 5-on-2. You just hate to see that. Has to be Nico now, and Device, he gets the first frag. Of course he does. Takes down Yugi. And Yugi was the player that opened things up in the previous as well, but 5-on-3 now. As Kiabi, hungry for more. He watched his teammate get a frag and get dinked in response. He wants to slice of the action as he takes down Estag. Modi joins him in the grave. And now just poor old Nico left another 5 versus 1. Oh, it's not going well for the Heroic side. Your prediction as well, Harry.
Yeah, I've been slaughtered right now.
It's still early days. They haven't
that's
lost
true.
a half yet.
That is true, but, you know, CT side, now they're going to go, what, 6 rounds down unless Nico clutches us out 1v5 with the Deegan. In spite of him being top of the board for Heroic, I am skeptical that that is a possibility. I mean, Bomb hasn't gone down yet, so he's been given some extra time to rotate in, but we're really clutching at straws to try and paint a picture where this is possible. I think just looking to try and do damage on these players as they try to exit out of B. If they come hunting for him, then maybe he gets himself a rifle and they can save that into the next.
Round number 8 doesn't really do anything for Heroic here. They've done a bit of damage, but Unfortunately, I think that's all they'll do. They might give a kill away here because they're being a little bit overzealous. There it is. Kiabi didn't really have to do that. Gives a rifle away, essentially. And it will be Nico surviving with the AK-47 here. Bomb goes off towards B. Oh, he does go down eventually. Glaive finds him. He's hot on his heels. And it will be 7-1, the overall scoreline here. Astralis looking very good indeed. And we haven't really seen a proper deep execution from them towards the B site. Their calling card on this map of tactic, they kind of showed us how strong it could possibly be. We get to round number 9. Single orb set up once again. Money started to stabilize for Heroic once more. Losing 7 rounds in a row now after winning the pistol. Need to start converting some of these big leads they have.
Nico trying to hold back the push through Connect. They're going to be forced back. Snappy actually takes some aggression down here at B, and he's going to push through short, holds the angle. Also has support from S-Tag. The crossfire set up. One man left behind here is going to be Zipex to try and hold the angle. Not too keen on pushing on him, while the rest of his team work the angles out in mid. Device trying to take control of long. Nico going to be the one to step up and challenge. He's just going to be waiting to see if they boost on up. Yugi has his back. Zipex started this aggression down through B, and that's the opener found. Snappy just gives that to them on a silver platter. Device misses that. The refrag could come in from Nico now. He gets pop flash round, but Device is quicker on the trigger.
Yeah, it's just Device playing with his food right now, baiting them into situations they don't want to be. He thinks that's a free frag, but Device is ready for it. 5-on-3 now. Modi smoked out as well. It's looking so bleak for the CTs, and all the flashbangs coming in. Yugi's giving away his position. Zipex can't find the frag, but he does a ton of damage, and there's the refrag from Kiabi. It's just going to be Yugi now, left in a 4 versus 1 situation. He might get a frag or 2 here, but the bomb's going down on B, Harry. It's over. Another round in favor of Astralis. Device seems to be aware. He does get taken down, like I said, a couple of frags, certainly a possibility here, but the bomb on the other side of the map, Yugi is trying to stay alive desperately, as we do see round 9 slip away once more from the Heroic side. Nice shot, there it is, the couple of frags I mentioned, and it will be Yugi probably saving the AWP. So if he can do that, on the CT side, they've got $3,400. He might find all the kills here. Garbage is listening out for him, trying to find any sound cues he can. So he'll find potentially 4 kills. Or do you get that? Take him down. Don't return the eco. He saves the weapon they can probably buy.
Yeah, just going to look away at the wrong time though, and Kiabi sneaking on up. Yugi caught off guard, goes down. That's the AWP carried forward for Astralis into that next round. It's also going to be stripped from the hands of Heroic. The timing could not have been worse there from Yugi, who does manage to reinvest in the AWP, but at the cost of all his utility and body armor. He's going to be extremely vulnerable.
Absolutely, but now they start needing rounds on the board at this point. It's looking quite desperate for them. Famas's UMPs, they do have the Yugi AWP. He has to work hard for it. He needs to go to combat mode. Try and find that opening pick. There it is. Oh, can't quite find the shot though. Gives away his position, unfortunately. That could mean the bomb going back towards B, but Yugi finds his way along as well. There are players on the other side. That's going to be Device and Glaive, and does take down Glaive, so now we've got something to work with here. Yugi has been hitting some decent shots, just not converting the rounds into victories. That's been the main problem.
Yeah, smoke that goes down, actually allowed to cross back to safety. You can see Nico came down from the A-bomb side to try and help out. Push going to come through from Kiabi, but it does miss its mark, and as a result, the man advantage maintained for the time being for Heroic. Kiabi going to go back and pick up that bomb, turns his attention instead down towards B. They're going to leave Device up here on A with the AWP at long. Employing this boost down on B. Dupree just peeking up over the top. S-Tag. He's the man to hold long for Heroic. And we're going to need some Heroics if they want to try and keep Kiabi and the boys at bay. Yugi dispatches of Device. His AWP counterpart for Astralis dropped out, and now the push going to come in from the remaining players as they get ready to charge on in. S-Tag's fully flashed. It's going to fall short. Snappy's here to try and pick up the pieces. Damage being done. Both the players in B going to fall. Not again as Heroic nearly throw this one away. Body forced back by the Molotov. Things get a bit hot and toasty. That's going to allow the bomb to go down, but no, Zipex once again 1v2. We've seen him do it once.
It feels like the same round. Well, not going to win this time. Okay, well, finally, Heroic gets something going there, but it's expensive. Another 5-on-3 situation going down to a 2-on-1. Astralis causing a boatload of damage there. And it's 8-2. Sure, still in their favor, and Heroic win the previous round, but Huge reset potential here. So much money to invest back into this round. They won't have 5 rifles assured. They save the AWP, but you can see Nico down to the UMP once more. They can't afford to lose this. Lose this round, I'd say the half's over. It could be like a 13-2 half. Need to be very careful. This is like double eco town. And Yugi goes aggressive once again. Doesn't get anything for it. Falls back to the bathrooms. Astralis know if they win this, they're in such a dominant position.
Device going to continue his tirade out through mid, while the rest of the guys try pushing into B. S-Tac goes aggressive, doesn't get anything from it, and gives away the man advantage. Gets the information that there's players at least along, but now Snappy has to step up in a big way. Playing it round the pillar. Finds the first, but then gets traded out by Kirby Modi. He falls short as well. Yugi and Nico, they're the last 2 that remain. This time it's a 2v4, and Heroic, with their arms behind their back, have to save this one. No way back into this round. Nico only saving a UMP as well is far less than ideal. He might be able to catch Kirby as he comes on the hunt. It will be Astralis to get themselves a 9th. And you said, Henry, that was a very good half if they pick this round up, and you know there's still more steam left in this trade.
Well, luckily, I guess, or maybe it could be working against them. They do save the AWP, which means they probably force around the next one. 9-2, that's the full reset as well. They'll get $1,400 into the next round, and it looks like Nico, I was about to say, goes down, but somehow gets that kill on Kirby, who has been very good at hunting them down. Astralis, they've got so much money to work with here, they can't afford to push down and try and find these kills. They know they're valuable. If Yugi saves the AWP, we know he can cause damage. Very efficient AWP, that's going to be another kill as Zipex gets dropped by Nico. And here we go, the difficult situation. I guess we do have to force it. It's looking so grim for them. And luckily they do keep Astralis relatively modest with those exit frags, but still, this is a situation they force into this one, which they will. Don't resist, don't win this round, and then it's just over. The half is just done. It's clutching at straws at best right now, but Nico does upgrade to the AK-47. A couple of UMPs there. Can they do anything with this? This time Yugi goes towards Shaw, pushing through flames as well, but he's been greeted by 2 Astralis players, but he gets the pick once again. He's been so good at finding that opening shot.
Yeah, it's such a shame as well. Dupree going to try and force through the smoke. They're not ready for this whatsoever, but Modi somehow does connect it. Keeps that man advantage going for Heroic. This is the best start we've seen them have, but we have seen Astralis come back from far worse. Device take a bit of a tap there, and then it's going to take that much more as takes a 7-6-2 round to the skull. Nico, he's the one to step up with that AK. Carried forward from the previous round, now carries them through this round. And Glaive, whoa, not looking too great. Gonna fall to Modi there. And that'll be Heroic 3-9. They managed to get one more, but there's still plenty of money for Astralis to invest.
I wouldn't say plenty of money. It's all right. You can see they are relatively modest here. They've got the UMP out. They have got 4 AKs, but no AWP, that's for sure. Decent utility, but yeah, sure, it's still comfortable. There's still no device open. Yugi, he's been the only player really performing. I guess Nico has kept up in frags, but nothing of significant impact. There's been Yugi, he's been finding those opening picks and being dynamic and changing his position. That's what I wanted to see from him. Similar to Device's place on the CT side as we get into round number 13. Now on the double orb setup, he did say there's a possibility. Snappy with the secondary orb here. Looking for those first shots. It will be Snappy with the refrag. Comes in nice and quickly there. Damage inflicted across the board, but Zipex, he knows his players on the other side here, trying to find that next pick. But for now, Terrorists have the advantage. 4 players up. And with little utility on the CT side, they're going to be struggling to hold off a full execution here. We will be finishing up towards B. You can see they've lost map control across the board. Towards middle, long A. And they should be executing towards the B side of the map, but we'll see if that comes into fruition.
Yeah, they throw in that Molotov for barrels, Modi. Tries to take the first peek out on a short. The timing eludes him just a little bit, and now he's going to try and hold off the eventual play. Out from pit, the Molotovs heat things up, and he's going to be relegated down to hell. I'm sure it's even hotter. S-Tag falls as Kirby and Glaive between them lock down B. Yugi, the last man left alive, the one who's had the most impact here. 1v3. The weight of Heroic on his shoulders, and that weight might be too much to bear as he looks to try and make his way back into this round. Up from heaven, 2 at the players tagged extremely low, but the aggression in from Glaive gonna make rotating in next to impossible, and this will be a round where Yugi is forced to save. Astralis, they're gonna go 10-3 up. They win that round out, and this is where they can start to rebuild that economy a little bit in preparation for the last few of the half.
Well, Once again, Yugi trying to save that AWP. Not really much he can do about this situation. He has been great so far, but that B play from Astralis, you can see why they're so deadly and so renowned on that particular area of the map. The double Molotovs, you see how difficult that was for Modi? Drops on the ramp and then towards the water as well. It's just a path of fire. You can't even stop and adjust and try and find kills. You'll just die. And then they find one, then two. Low HP, didn't stop him. Bomb goes down, and Yugi has to save the orb once again. 10-3. Astralis looking very comfortable here. Now, before Spy from Heroic, they need these last 2 rounds. Astralis is too strong on Overpass. They need at least 10-5, I'd say, to have a fighting chance here. Anything under that, I think it's probably done. But they still get a relatively good buy here. A couple of Famises, 2 M4s. The AWP once again. Glaive feeling brave. They get taken down in that position before to the hands of Yugi. Decent Molotov, though, pushes the CTs back. And we do have Yugi towards the bathroom position this time.
I mean, yeah, we're just seeing a masterclass from Astralis, as you would expect. Yugi, he's been the one standout performer for Heroic. Zipex keeps them modest into the 4-on-4. Yugi gonna fall, and with him, the orb taken out of their hands. Snappy tries to force the issue, and Zipex punishes him for it. S-Tag still here, hot on their heels, but doesn't want to risk peeking in. This leaves it all on Modi up on A to try and turn the tide of battle single-handedly as Kirby gonna get caught unaware. He's still alive, clinging on for dear life. The rest of the team rotating in. That has delayed the bomb plant. Modi, things get hot and heavy, and it's S-Tag on the flank to chip away. Makes it close.
That could have been something spectacular that they lined up for him. I was believing for a second that could be in the play. That would be truly heroic. That could have been fantastic there, but S-Tag can't find the final few shots there. So unfortunately, Heroic can't get it done. They get the opening pick, courtesy of Yugi once again. But here we are, 11-3, Harry. And they've only got pistols and a UMP. Not looking good, but they have won these difficult force buys before. But to be fair, they saved an orb before. We'll see if this works out for them. Yugi been so good with the AWP. Currently sat on 12 frags, but there's the first kill once again. He does it once more.
And it's such a shame, right? I mean, if you have someone opening up the round every single time to then go and lose it. But yeah, I mean, you know, they've got the early man advantage once more. It's instantly equalized into the 4-on-4, though, as Nico is found down in connector. Modi has to be cautious because Zipex is somehow all the way up short. They've completely wrapped around past each other. The push in through long has meant these guys are back-to-back. Zipex has to be careful. Starts to walk on in, but they're not ready for this at all, and it's a complete and utter slaughter down towards short.
Oh, he's just toying with them, is he not? Pushing in towards Monster, then Short finds 2. Job done. It will be 12-3 here. Might have a couple of frags in favor of the CT with the bomb going down, and Zipex will drop, but utility usage is decent from Astralis here. We do find another frag, 3-on-2, but both CTs in the same position. Smoke's coming in now. It's this horrible situation for that Molotov. Will be burning them alive, but it does get extinguished with the smoke being down, with low HP on both players. Flashbang. Oh god, don't kill each other. Not like this. And that's going to be it. The final few frags coming in. A dominant performance there from Astralis. Didn't really miss a beat, Harry. Looking very good indeed. And they lost the pistol as well. And they still get 12 rounds on the board. Just as what we've come to expect from Astralis on Overpass. Had a rough day in the office yesterday, but still looking much better against their Danish counterparts. We'll take a quick break and see whether Heroic can come back in the second half. Astralis looking like their old selves once again. A great performance in the first half. Heroic not really showing up as of yet. 12-3 in the first on the CT half, no less as well. I feel like this map is done, Harry, but you never know. Win the pistol, that's all it takes. You can get right back into this. Are you still believing in your prediction?
I mean, ultimately, I think, Heroic, they've been doing well in the beginning, but ultimately, it's been all bark, no bite, whereas Astralis, they're looking like Great Danes right now. So,
oh, nice. I saw you did that.
Yeah.
Dog puns all round.
Dog puns all round. Let's go.
Yeah, I like it. Well, here we go then. It's going to be Heroic trying to do what they can here on the pistol. 3 sets of armor so far. Snappy, make it 4. Snappy with the smoke and flashbangs. As we normally say, teams favour towards that B bomb site. 1 smoke is enough. On the bomb site itself, just get the bomb down, while everyone else is just rushing this site and trying to get the job done. As you can see, they're all heading towards B. That does make sense. Most teams have to go nice and quick. Maybe they think this one's done, but here's the smoke towards the site. And in we go. We ZipX to challenge first. He's been great so far, but can't find the shots. And all 3 go in favour of Heroic. We might just have a round on our hands.
Yeah, Device, the last man left within B. Tries to keep these guys at bay. He's going to be tapping away, but he can't connect anything. Just as you say that, Modi will indeed hit the deck, but it's still a 2-man advantage right now for Heroic. They've got the bomb down. Time going to be working against Astralis here. They have to move quickly. Kirby and Device, they're the 2 left. To try and sneak back in, checking all the close angles. Device gives the all clear, and that's going to allow Kirby now to hop down as the dynamic duo try to overtake this site. They both get tagged, damage being done. Device runs up short, Yugi finds the head, and now it's just Kirby. 1v4, caught off from long. S-Tag finishes him in Heroic. They will at least get the pistol.
They will indeed. Something to work with now. We did say we win the pistol. No reason why he can't still win the game. Well, quite a simple approach. That smoke from T-Spawn that lands on the bomb site. Rush towards short. Get the frags. It's that boost shot there. Doesn't really ever seem to work out with the CTs. Ready and waiting. The Ts find the shots required. 3 all at once. We do have the force buy here from the CT side. Device, a little bit more modest, not getting the armor. He's going to be the AWPer, of course. One of his absolute best maps here, Overpass. Go for a contact plane towards B. Why not? Not messing around here whatsoever. Straight towards the site. In we go. Get the first kill. Well, dupreeh does, and he'll fall back as well. But he's got contact from short as well. Needs to be very careful here. Smoke's coming in. Buys him a little bit more time as he makes his way back towards the bomb site.
Oh, these 2 teams are so close to touch each other right now, and it's going to be Glaive, the first man to fall for Astralis. And with his untimely demise, we're going to see a Heroic look to try and fall back. The aggression from dupreeh, and really the difference maker, the linchpin, is Kirby, who's in the back lines. That's bomb dropped, and now he's got full control of it. Players coming his way, has to be careful. He somehow smokes it off. He's still alive, dancing around the bullets. Snappy's tried to rotate in to deal with him. He's looking for support from Yugi. Device pushing into B. They have to be very careful here, Heroic, as they run the risk of being pincered in by the 2 Astralis players. Pop Flash is going to come out. Device peeks. It's going to fall prey to Yugi, but Kirby, he's still their biggest threat. Still has control of that bomb. Peek comes in, but he can't quite find the damage.
Good patient work there from Heroic. It started to fall apart slightly, especially when that bomb gets dropped in T-Spawn when they wanted to make their exit. But Kiabi, nice work, gets that smoke down, buys himself some time, but Heroic very aware, utilising the flashbangs and the awareness towards Monster Tunnel, then going in together. They know Kiabi's here, but it's facing together right at the same time, guarantees the refrag, not even required. And it's going to be 12-5 as they put one up on the board. It's going to be a full eco here from Astralis. Nothing invested into this round whatsoever. And we'll go towards a connector position. Have a little stack here. 3 players, and they'll boost 1 on towards the shelves. Pretty common boost. Don't actually really see a pro play that much, but can be good for a couple of kills. Not so much with the USP, I would say.
Yeah, they are clutching at straws a bit there. The boost falls short, and this is going to allow the UMP to start to mash through the unarmored opponents down and connected. Device was actually able to pick up the AK, so a little bit scary here, but he's going to be quickly mopped up by dupreeh, who's somehow on a killing spree with the USP, but he will be put down as Nico finally steps up, rises to the occasion. And that is Heroic to go 6-12. Only 6 rounds separating these 2 teams. So Heroic could try and make their way back into this. They've already got their foot in the door. Astralis now buying up. This is the real test for Heroic. The AWP going to be on Device. Yugi's got the AWP of his own. I think on the T side, he's a very competent AWPer, so excited to see if they can utilize him to break into some of these sites. But Device already untamed aggression up through party. Kirby's all the way down through mid as well. We're about to see these two teams clash. Kirby opens things up. For a little bit more. Snappy does manage to get the trade, but now Device pounces out, maintains that man advantage, and that frag was crucial.
Yeah, I like this aggression from the CTs, getting those first couple of picks. They've got the man advantage as well. Device refrag there with his teammate, and it's a 4-on-3. Yuki, though, still the AWP, and a nice shot from S-Tag, proving himself to be a real nice talent within Europe, I think. He has got some crazy aim, I have to say. And now the 3-on-3. Does favour the terrorists technically. Still with a minute to play as well. They have 3 smokes, molotovs, flashbangs, but Device still alive and kicking. No kits available for the CDs. That's why they had to go aggressive at the very start. They've run out of utility apart from 1 smoke. That's in the back pocket of Device. You can see Zipex with a more aggro angle. Same story for Dupree as well. Trying to get that first frag towards shore, but 50 seconds remains now. It's not clear as to where Heroic will be finishing up, but we'll see what they can do. 40 seconds now. Looking likely to be B. So Zipex and Dupree are lying in wait.
Zipex going to be holding long. Along comes Modi, and he will be dealt with. The rest of the gang try to continue this push up through short. They have to claim some revenge. Dupree and Zipex with the crossfire. It's all on S-Tag. 1v2. Doesn't even know where the shots are coming from as he gets finished off by Zipex. The double peak proves to be too strong, along with that very nice flash up from heaven. Astralis, they're going to go 13-6.
Just what Astralis needed there after going 3-0 down. Difficult situation with that first gun on the CT side, especially when you're forced by in the second. You're lacking utility. Kids, luckily, Device didn't buy much in that second round. He gets the AWP out. Aggressive play of him and Kiabi. They get the man advantage. S-Tag with some shots back in return. Manages to bring it into an equal situation, but Dupree and Zipex watching towards that B side with Device patrolling A. They had solid control of the situation, and aggro coming in once again. Kiabi towards the party position, backed up by Device once more. You can see Heroic with 3 rifles, 2 Tech 9s. Lose this round, that's probably GG. Up against the ropes right now. Astralis is working the body, trying to get that first frag. They'll be holding up towards the playground for now. Very default round as the smoke comes through. Kiabi will not be falling back just yet.
Nico pushing down over towards B. Zipex nearly gets spotted there, but does dodge it. It's this play from Dupree that could make all the difference. Modi is actually holding it, but very, very passively. Gonna start to peek on out, but doesn't catch him off guard. Dupree actually wins that. Zipex gonna win out a duel elsewhere as we lose S-Tag. And now the 3 remaining players for Heroic with their backs against the wall, gonna try and rekindle their love for this round, but no, Nico's hit the deck. Yugi and Snappy, the 2 that remain. One waiting over by B, one trapped in connector. Isolated apart from one another. Desperately trying to meet back up to continue this play, but with only 35 seconds left, the smoke goes down over at long. It's going to force their hand up to short. Zipex might be tagged low, but that's the only silver lining from this round. And even then, he still delivers death. It's all on Yugi, 1v5. And that might even be too much for him. He's able to find the first. Still 4 more left, and Kirby coming in from behind. Dupree over in pit. He will go down. Astralis 1 round away now from reaching map point.
Yeah, that could be all she wrote for Overpass. Just to note as well, Heroic have won both pistols here. Scoreline's 14-6, one of which are converted to a 3-0. So this has been a pretty poor showing generally from them. They have to force by here. They cannot allow Astralis to get match point this early on and have to get 9 rounds in a row. Just wouldn't really be feasible for them. So they're going all in. Tech 9s, CZs, Deagles, rushing, trying to find this first pick. They're in the connector right now, hoping to catch a player off guard here, but you can hear them coming. He will fall back. It's going to be Device. Drops the incendiary, buys himself some time. He goes back towards the bomb site here, spots a shadow. Just wants to try and find his first kill and then stay alive.
Molotovs keep them at bay. Dupree in the back line takes 3, and now it's just Nico and Modi left. Good night, Nico. Modi's the last man. 1v4. I'm curious to know if he has a plan. I mean, bomb's been dropped. Has to go back and get that first, because Zipex going to be sitting on that all day long. Zipex takes the peek and actually missed the opening shots, but the Tech 9 can't do anything. Astralis 15-6. They don't arrive at match point. And it has been a dominating performance, just a masterclass in how to play this map, and you can see why they're so renowned for being so damn good at it. I mean, everything we've seen Heroic try and do, whether it's on the CT side or the T side, was just negated straight away.
Yeah, wrecked, I would say. Every single time Astralis look dominant here, back to their old selves, and Heroic haven't put up much of a fight here. So to be fair, it's nothing they've done wrong, it's just been Astralis been lights out. The players have turned up. It's 25 frags with Zipex, all the clutches you like, opening frag, defending key bomb sites, and we do have Device in the underpass. He doesn't seem to care what he's doing at this point, finding kills, and that should be it. It's a 5-on-3, and there's going to be a kill for Kiabi as well towards that B bomb site. He is backed up at this point as well by Glaive. He's going to come in and spray the smoke. Lots of damage being done, but no frag picked up just yet. They're trying to lock him in. He's going to come and find these two players waiting around the corner. There it is. It's game over, Harry. Your prediction's wrong. But, like you said, you like an underdog story, so it's fine.
Yeah, Nico's 1v5. I still believe. There we go. Takes the first.
All right.
Henry.
Optimistic.
Yeah, optimism. He's out mid, flashes himself. Okay, never mind. Really expected more from my boy there. That is going to be Astralis to win that out. Very, very one-sided game. My prediction was wrong. I'm hoping that Heroic can try and bring that back in the second map, but Henry... Oh, that's that. Yeah, there you go. Both Danish, I'll give you that, but nearly.
Yeah. Dominant performance there from Astralis. Never really had to break into a sweat. They lost both pistols as well and still win 16-6. We saw Zipex have one of the best games I've seen him play in a long time. Very, very good. It's aggressive, hitting every single shot, all the clutches as well. What a phenomenal player he is. Boys, over to you on the desk.
Well, the Danes love to play a little bit of hot potato, and this time Astralis are going to take the victory over Heroic in the Danish Derby. Yugi, he showed his hand of cards early. He was playing phenomenally, but the rest of the team was a bit like Joey Wheeler.
Must be very frustrating. Frustrating to be Yugi, getting so many.
Do you get it?
So many mad advantages, and then thrown away. We saw 2-5 Astralis winning that, and that's just the classic moments of where individuals are kind of getting too hasty. They take peaks that are totally unnecessary when you don't really need to do anything, and Astralis has everything they need to do.
So Sorry.
Yeah,
you're right. You keep going.
Right. They still kept on peaking when they didn't need to.
I jumped in too early there. I thought I read the pause wrong. I apologize. I'm still getting used to these social cues. I've grabbed 3 rounds that I thought were very pivotal in that first half and build on the point that you were making there. We start off with round 2. It'll probably jump in at some point, but they were able to force Bayer back and win the pistol. Now, we were talking in the pregame about, the raw skill of Astralis going to outdo Heroic any day of the week, and then they're one of the best, I guess, fundamentally sound teams we have as well, and this is a great example of them just outskilling their opponent.
Yeah, I think the problem is with this, and I can assume a couple of the next rounds you're going to point out is at times Heroic just played too scared.
Yeah.
In this round as well as in the 5v2 round, they were just willing to give too much ground to Astralis without even playing for information.
This is round 5. This is the first gun round. This is just to kind of dictate, the pace or the plan that was going for the guys from Astralis, and they had a clear idea of what they wanted to do early. We were able to take this one. It was actually Zipnix having to win a 1-on-2 situation. So once again, like you're saying, potentially being too scared, but we do know Zippy is that, I guess, phenomenal.
Which is weird when you start the round off, for the most of them, being the enabler, being the one team that is actually taking initiative to then be playing as scared as they did.
At this point, you can even count on Zipex winning a clutch like this.
Yeah.
It's not even you say, yeah, but Zipex won that clutch. No, it's just what he does. More so, it's that round in combination with the 5v2 and a few more rounds where Heroic had an advantage. You can't afford to make that many mistakes against any team, let alone a team like Astralis.
The 5v2 will be the one coming up next after this one, so maybe when it pops up, go into a little bit more in depth for us and basically point out those scared players that you're talking about. But I think Heroic as a whole were finding a lot of openings through Yugi. He was able to grab a lot of frags, right? Like he was able to get a lot done with that AWP, just everybody else seemed to crumble. They find themselves in this round with so many openings, right? And they've played everything right up to the point of maybe you need to just be a little bit more disrespectful in these scenarios. I know you're playing arguably one of the best teams in the world. They're definitely out there for the top 2 or 3 position.
Yeah, just peek for information, right? Go for the jump peaks, try to find some info on where they want to finish the round. The clock is ticking as well. You had 3 players at B and 2 at A against only 2 players alive of Astralis. Even if you just push Monster, for example, and you see someone there, that will allow you to rotate an extra player in. They don't have enough time to go back to the other bomb site. So, the 2 players played very, very scared, didn't want to die, and, when they died, the rotation was so far off, it gave complete control of the bomb site to Astralis. And in a 2v3 situation with positional control and an AWP, that's the advantage to the terrorists.
Without having to make it into rocket science, I feel like, you know, if you just make sure you're in a 5-on-2, if you trade the kills every time,
you're going to win.
You're definitely going to win them out, aren't you? So.
Yeah, exactly. That's not rocket science, right? When
so
I was
these 2 kills, that's it. They have control of the side. They can plant the bomb, post up in toilets, and easy round.
Yeah, and this is the fact of not having information and turtling up, exactly like you pointed out. It never works out for anybody. You saw Snappy coming in on the flank. I was curious as to why he needed to be the one to initiate the duel. He could have had the players in the site tapping the bomb. That would have given away the position of the other 2 players. He would have been able to shoot someone in the back. And then from here, they may have been able to stabilize the half. But these rounds I picked because it just shows, it just demonstrates the rounds that Astralis are able to pull out of nowhere and ruin the economy of Heroic and make them have a really rough time, because this did happen time and time again. Them finding a lot of frags, even with entry after entry from Yugi. The guy had what was he? He had 19 frags overall. The next closest was Nico with 17, and we pointed these 2 guys out as the biggest stars for this squad, and they were getting it done.
And we also pointed out in the pregame that for Heroic to make an upset here, they need to take risks, and they did the complete opposite of that. It's not like they didn't play the standard game; they played scarce. So if they want to have a chance in the second map, that's definitely going to have to change.
And they won both pistols. And I was pointing that out, that if the team's winning both pistols, they're winning the map.
And it's not even like that they didn't take risks necessarily, because they were kind of doing the pushing, making aggressive plays. You know, that is taking a risk. But then when they had the advantage, that's when they started pushing out.
Yes.
That's how it is.
And that's the wrong time to do it, right? We all want to play fundamentally sound Counter-Strike, but sometimes you need to be confident enough that you can just
swing it around.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Just let it swing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Lost?
No, I'm not lost. I'm just thinking about the big swinging AWPs. The big greens.
I mean, Yugi showed it.
We do have another map coming up, though, and that map is going to be Inferno. They have a chance to redeem themselves. They can try and put those big swinging things away, as we will come back after the break and check it out.